believe people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect, you know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean?
You know what's to me? There's a who pick who he fight with.
Right.
Like if you see it and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't him, but I fuck him.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
Tony Yayo just lit a fire that might burn through some of hip-hop's deepest street politics. He came out swinging at Jay Prince. Yeah, that Jay Prince. And now folks are whispering about a possible extortion ring that's been hiding in plain sight. Jay Prince, the boss behind Rap-A-Lot Records and a major shot caller in Houston, tried to pull his usual check-in move on none other than 50 Cent. But instead of falling in line like most, 50 clapped back, loud. He didn't just reject it. He put the whole game on blast and dared Jay Prince to respond. What was once just quiet side-eye between Houston's street muscle and G-Unit's raw energy just turned into a full-on collision course. To get why this is so huge, you gotta rewind the tape. Jay Prince isn't just some label exec, he's a whole power structure. The man built Rap-A-Lot Records and kept his grip on Houston's streets with straight-up presence. He doesn't need to bark, his name rings bells. In H-Town, if you're an outsider and don't check in, you might leave without your jewelry, or not leave at all. Then you got 50 Cent, who's never been the type to bow to anyone. From the moment he came in swinging at Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the rest of Murder Inc., 50 showed the world he plays by his rules. G-Unit didn't come up on handshakes and alliances. They came in like a tank. No checking in, no begging for passes, and definitely no paying street taxes. So when whispers started that 50 might be setting up shop in Houston, people started holding their breath because they knew something serious was coming. And now it's here. If 50 Cent really pulled up in Houston without checking in with Jay Prince, that ain't just bold.
You know what's to me? There's a nigga who pick who he fight with.
Right.
Like if you see it and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't him, but I fuck him.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
You want to fight the nigga you think you.
That's a straight-up shot at the throne. And the wild part, he actually did it. What used to be some quiet back and forth suddenly flipped into a real heavyweight standoff. 50 was in New York, clowning the game and running his mouth like always, while Jay Prince stayed low-key in Houston, holding it down like a silent general. They threw some slick jabs from a distance until 50 came through with that bombshell on Twitter. I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later. This wasn't no publicity stunt. 50 made that move like a boss with a blueprint. New York's taxes were draining him, and Houston was calling with low costs, big space, and a buzzing rap scene that's heating up fast. And let's not forget, his Branson Cognac was looking for a southern base, and Houston's liquor game, straight flames. He wasn't just chasing lifestyle, he was planting flags, building power, stacking revenue, and putting his brand right in the heart of the South. But here's where it got messy. He didn't check in. Not a call, not a word, nothing. And Jay Prince, he ain't built to ignore that. Word in the streets is Jay felt disrespected, like 50 was trying to claim space in his city without showing any love. Allegedly, Jay Prince sent a few folks to remind 50 how things run in H-Town. Some even say he expected 50 to break bread, to pay up for some local protection.
Like I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like even the tax incentive was put back.
Well, yeah. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, he's here only because they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal than that. Way more.
They can't see.
Break that down.
I'm spending $20 million this year anyway, in the same building that they're saying was the cheap building.
Right.
So find somebody else to spend $20 million.
But 50? He don't fold. He doubled down, made it crystal. G-Unit ain't no tourists. They move with their own hitters and never pay street tax. That turned the heat all the way up. Word started spreading that Jay Prince might have tried to put a no-fly zone on 50, basically saying, you're not allowed in my city. That might scare smaller artists, but 50? He's not just another rapper. But 50? Man, he flipped the script on Jay Prince like it was his own TV show. He hit Instagram with savage memes, slick one-liners, and little jabs that had the whole internet buzzing. He turned the whole check-in drama into a punchline, letting everyone know he don't answer to nobody. He even dared Jay Prince to come see him in public. Behind the cameras, though, things started getting sticky. 50 was deep into building a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio right in Houston. This wasn't just a money move. It was about creating jobs, real opportunities, and putting new energy into the city's entertainment scene. But out of nowhere, that whole setup shifted to Shreveport, Louisiana. Just like that. Officially, 50 blamed better infrastructure for the switch. But anybody who was watching closely knew better. The streets in Houston were heating up, and 50 wasn't about to play cat and mouse with shady power moves. He wasn't there to play games, especially not ones with real-life stakes.
Came to the city of Houston, but he didn't just come here to live. He has been helping out on so many causes in this city. And especially, he has been in our high schools, turning our high school students into entrepreneurs with his Unity Camp program. I've seen him firsthand. This city has been elevated because of his presence. And so today we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson. Woo! Now, before I call on him to speak, let me present you first a key to the city of Houston. Anywhere you go, 550 buildings, use the key, the door will swing wide open.
And just when it seemed like Jay Prince might have chased him out, the city itself did a full 180. Houston didn't push him out, they embraced him. In 2022, not long after landing in H-Town, 50 didn't just earn some clout, he got honored like a king. Mayor Sylvester Turner stepped up and gave 50 a key to the city, officially declaring November 24th as 50 Cent Day during the Thanksgiving parade. The crowd went wild. Take the love, he gave it right back. Through his G-Unity Foundation, 50 kicked off food drives, handed out toys, dropped big checks at schools, real community work that made a difference. He didn't just buy property in Houston, he earned respect in the city. And the business hustle didn't slow down. He linked up with the Houston Rockets, Texans, and Astros through his Sire Spirits brand, flipping his brand into a full-blown city takeover. In 2023, he dropped $850,000 worth of toys on the city. Then in 2024, he raised $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity, all from auctioning off just 2 huge bottles of his Le Chemin du Roi champagne. The whole event pulled in a mind-blowing $6 million. While all this was going down, Jay Prince was reportedly sitting back like a king watching another boss take over his empire. The man who once ruled Houston from behind the curtain was now seeing 50 Cent shine out front, getting love from the city, the fans, and even the mayor. Then, Tony Yayo jumped in, and when he talks, it's never filtered.
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, is they seem to get hung up on that word, checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
Jay Prince built his whole rep off this idea that he's protecting artists who come to Houston. He crowned himself the king of H-Town and set up this fake-friendly system called checking in.
You're stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. We all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever, yeah.
But I mean, it's a blessing, Rip.
Real talk.
In a no-holds-barred Vlad TV interview, Yayo finally spelled it out. The real reason G-Unit never played that check-in game. And he didn't sugarcoat anything. Yayo called it like he saw it. The whole check-in system is just a slick way to line up rappers for extortion. That's it, plain and raw. You check in, you drop a bag, or you risk getting touched. That's the street code nobody talks about out loud. Jay Prince made a name as the so-called protector of artists in Houston. But according to Yayo, that protector image came with a price tag. Jay painted himself as the city's silent guardian, and this whole checking in thing, it was really just a smooth way to get in your pockets. Here's how the play supposedly goes. Artists pull up in Houston, and they're expected to tap in with Jay Prince's crew. Show respect, aka pay up. They'll say it's for your safety, to make sure your jewelry stays on your neck or your show goes off without a hitch. But if you don't check in, that's when the pressure starts. And Yayo didn't stop there. He brought up Pop Smoke's death as a real-life example. A young rising star, gone too soon, According to Yayo, that tragedy was a loud wake-up call. When artists rely too much on street alliances and don't move with real structure, they become easy marks. He laid it all out. Street protection always comes with a cost. And when things go sideways, those same people you paid don't always show up. Instead, you're left dealing with the heat and possibly the law. Yayo made one thing real clear. All those mob ties, all that gangster association, that's how you end up with feds knocking on your door. This isn't the 90s anymore. It's a new era. With RICO cases flying, even talking to the wrong people can get you caught up. G-Unit wasn't willing to gamble. They chose to stay armed, independent, and answer to nobody. NBA YoungBoy slid into Houston strictly for business, but he wasn't about to check in. And just like that, his spot got hit. Chains, gone, stacks of cash, wiped clean, car keys, vanished into thin air like smoke. Then out of nowhere, here comes J Prince, hopping on Instagram, talking like he's the hero of the story. He claimed he recovered YoungBoy's stolen stuff, but instead of handling it quietly like a real OG, he dropped a whole video, like he was trying to boost his image and run a press tour. YoungBoy fired back with zero hesitation. He wasn't impressed. He basically said if Jay really wanted to help, he would have handled it off camera. Instead, he came off like a 60-year-old clout chaser looking for likes instead of respect. Then Cameron and Mace stepped in and added more fuel to the fire. They called J Prince out, saying real OGs don't move like that. Real ones uplift, not extort. And if you're still out here playing street boss into your 60s, according to them, that's a sign you already lost the game. And then there's the dice games, those infamous setups J Prince is allegedly tied to. Next to intimidation, it's said to be his go-to hustle. Those high-stakes dice games, they've been known around Houston for years, but not for anything good. Word is, they've been used to bait rappers into dangerous situations, sometimes with deadly outcomes. And the biggest tragedy of all? Takeoff. Everyone remembers the night he lost his life during one of those games. What started off like just another flex turned into a nightmare. Gunshots, chaos, and one of hip-hop's most loved voices gone forever. A moment that shook the culture to its core. So what really went down that night? Street Talk says it wasn't some random fight. It was deeper. Allegedly, J Prince was heated because Takeoff and Quavo didn't check in properly. Whispers say he gave the word to send a message. It was supposed to be just some pressure, but it spiraled out of control. Takeoff paid the price, and when the dust settled, J Prince moved like he always does, dodging accountability. Every time someone brings it up, he dances around the truth, talking in riddles and making it seem like it was all just bad luck. But folks aren't buying it. At one point, J Prince basically admitted he got rid of evidence, like it was no big deal. But here's the part that really hits hard. Takeoff wasn't the only one caught in this chaos. Remember Duke the Jeweler? He walked away from a dice game $100,000 richer, probably thinking it was his lucky night. But he never even made it to his car. He got ambushed, robbed, ended in cold blood. Another young black man gone way too soon. And for what? A crooked dice game, a shady setup, and some twisted version of respect that's got more to do with fear than honor. Now put that next to what 50 Cent's been doing. Building film studios, launching community centers, feeding families, supporting schools. He's not just making noise, he's building something real. One of these men is working toward legacy. The other, still trying to run the streets with threats and intimidation like it's 1995. And don't get it twisted. This ain't just about memes and social media shade anymore. Behind the scenes, word is that 50's been moving different. He's talking to folks, gathering proof, and allegedly stacking receipts to expose the so-called check-in system for what it really is. A polished-up version of extortion. And the wildest part? He might not be working alone. 50's dropped hints that the feds might already be circling. If that's true, that's not just a flex, that's a setup for checkmate. Because when 50 plays, he plays smart. He don't make noise for fun, he makes it count. All those memes he's posting, that's just the cover. Behind closed doors, 50's allegedly lining up every piece, waiting for the right time to drop the kind of truth bomb that could wipe out everything J Prince built in the shadows. One post, one leak, one call. That's all it takes. Jay might still have his grip on the streets, but 50, he's got the whole city standing behind him now. And let's be real, 50 Cent didn't just move to Houston, he took it over. While J Prince was out here allegedly trying to pressure artists behind the scenes, 50 came in bold, got welcomed with open arms by the mayor, and started building real change. That's not street power, that's real leadership. Now, that whole check-in empire is starting to crack, slipping under the weight of the spotlight. The fear, the control, the shadow games, it's all unraveling. So here's the real question. Who's really calling the shots in Houston now? Is it the street boss working from the shadows, or the man standing in plain sight, backed by the mayor, the fans, and the whole next wave of hip-hop? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We need to know. Is 50 Cent going too far, or is he the one finally exposing the truth behind the industry's dirty secrets? Is he doing what nobody else had the guts to? Make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into hip-hop's wildest power moves and behind-the-scenes drama. Share this with someone who still thinks it's just rap beef, because it's way deeper than that. And trust us, this story is far from over. It only gets crazier from here. See you in the next one.